Today, on You're Watching a Movie with Silas Linden Stine, we are talking about A24's newest film, Civil War.
You're watching a movie with Silas Linden Stine. In the theaters you find this. So go and press play and rewind this. This picture is timeless. Love it like it or we lose it, can't find it. And we ain't keen on being reminded about the film if it isn't tough. We spend a lot of time at the cinema. It's just me and my friends, we watch plenty stuff. For movies, yeah, I've been above. Whether big or they small, no, for me don't make a difference. Love them. You're watching a movie with Silas Linden Stine. In the theaters you find this. So go and press play and rewind this. This picture is timeless. Love it like it or we lose it, can't find it. And we ain't keen on being reminded about the film if it didn't hit. No, gotta lose it. Watch movies with my friends, bringing joy, that's the blueprint. So come on and let's do this. Leave pain behind us and relax your mind. Come watch a movie with Silas.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to You're Watching a Movie with Silas Linden Stine. I am your host, Silas Linden Stine. Welcome. Today, I'm talking about the new film from A24, Civil War. No, this is not Marvel's Civil War. This is not an old film. This is a new film called Civil War. It's not about superheroes or Avengers. This one is about a civil war here in the United States. It's a dystopian, as they describe it. So today's my review of this film. It's coming out this week. It is rated R, has a running time of 109 minutes, directed by Alex Garland, and stars Kirsten Dunst, Wagner Moura, Kaylee Spaney, Stephen McKinley Henderson, Sonia Mizuna, and Nick Offerman. Now, the synopsis of the film, it reads, from filmmaker Alex Garland comes a journey across a dystopian future America, following a team of military-embedded journalists as they race against time to reach D.C. before rebel factions descend upon the White House. Now, I have heard people feel a little misled by the trailer, and I have a rule when there's a movie that comes out that I really want to see. I'll see the trailer the first time it comes out. When it drops, tell me about it. Don't watch it again. I want to be completely fresh. So I haven't returned to the trailer yet. I know I always do for the video here, but as I do remember, I remember it feeling like, oh, we're going to get to see how the U.S. gets into a civil war. And we don't. We do kind of find out information done really well, actually. I would say the exposition part is really embedded through dialogue, through the film, and the first part in particular, very, very smoothly. So it doesn't feel like previously on Civil War. It really hits it. It gets you to understand what's going on, but you learn that we are probably near the end of the Civil War. That the Civil War is about to end. The U.S. has broken off into two factions, maybe three. The Western Front, which is California and Texas, who both secede from the Union. And maybe there's a Florida, it sounds like a Florida too, which, while initially maybe makes it seem like, oh, well, who's this about then? Who caused the Civil War? Well, you have a president who decided to serve 3 terms. There's definitely some Make America's Great language, and you definitely, my prediction on it is it's a conservative president that's in office. Why did Texas succeed then? Well, I think you had we've heard about all the people moving from California to Texas, so I think eventually it swings the other way. That's my prediction. Anyway, it doesn't get much into the origin exactly about it, but that's what we do understand. And I gotta say, this film, it creates this future. I don't know if I'd say dystopian. I guess it's sort of, I think when I think of dystopian, I think of like barren land and stuff. And I think this is like, it's almost eerie and a normalization of what a civil war could be. I don't think that I've ever seen a film or that really showed me what a realistic war in the US would look like right now. And this one felt very real in the part that there would be parts of the country that are getting decimated and parts completely untouched, and you would could drive through them within hours of each other. When my first reaction coming out of the film was, wow, that's kind of a bleak future. What a I think it is it being so realistic makes it hit extra heavy. Like it makes you think about, wow, would this be what it's like? Um that's really bad. I do not want my future to be like that, or anyone near that. What would war like be here in the US? I think it is scary. And while it's not a horror, this scared me more than a lot of other films. It was the kind of movie you need to go home and probably like watch an episode of Friends after or something. You gotta pick the spirits up. You don't want to go to sleep with thoughts of this film. It there are gore. There isn't there is some gore. I will say there are some moments that are like I had to turn my head because they were really hard. But it is definitely a war film. So if war and gore kind of go together, um, that's it's there. And I mean, war is a horror, so it's hard to think to do one without the other. You just don't have this obvious bad guy running around trying to kill people. It's soldiers fighting each other instead. So I think the best things about this film are the writing. The writing is fantastic. Uh, the visual storytelling is wonderful. The actors, they embody the characters so well. I mean, Kirsten Dunst as the lead photojournalist in this, like, she's incredible. I think this might be one of my favorite pieces I've seen her in. She and there's also a brief cameo by her husband, which is in her real life husband, which is scary. Like if I that might be a vote I have for villain of the year is her husband in this. He's such a evil character and he appears so briefly in this. It's it's just all around the acting is just phenomenal in this film. They really I think they elevated even more than probably there. Um and then I think sound design, this probably I could see this getting an Academy Award nomination for sound design. It's like I saw this in IMAX and the sound in it was just so incredible. You feel like you're there, and that's which helps make it scary as well. You feel embedded into the film just as much as the journalist that you're following, right? So I where the film lacks, um, there are some there are a couple plot holes. There's particularly near the end, it's kind of a little bit ridiculous on how they finish it off. But I do feel like because of them getting right into the action, which I applaud. I think they do. You still are left to wonder a lot how this happened. And here's what it is. I think it's sold as a Civil War film, but it is actually more about photojournalism. I think it's about being a cutthroat journalist and how to make it in that world. You need to shut everything off and be willing to do whatever it takes to get the shot and tell the truth or whatever you can wrap your head around to legitimize what you're doing in there. It's of course war is just the setting for a human story, and kind of we get to know it through a young woman wanting to become a photographer also, and starts traveling with more experienced photographers and journalists through the war zone, heading toward. They want to get to where the end of the fighting is going to be, and so you get to see glimpses of these territories, which have some have been liberated, some still have people there fighting. It definitely reminds me of some old war movies that I saw when I was a kid, but it would be, in other lands. And this is just, there's some eeriness in that it's so familiar, because I don't think usually when you see war films or films about genocides or things happening in other areas, they just don't look like Americans. They're not dressed like Americans, or it doesn't, it feels distant, and you can't distance yourself with this film. It it makes you feel almost like it's going to happen to you. I kept making the joke that this is, oh, we're going to go see this film Civil War. It's a documentary about our future. Uh so and I hope it's not, but they sort of give that impression. It's not shot in a documentary style. Don't get me wrong there. It's very much a very narrative tale, but you buy in. You buy into the whole premise and everything they're doing. So it makes it feel a little more urgent. The film does feel urgent to me. Like, oh, you know what? Everybody who votes should watch this movie, because maybe I'm being dramatic, but these are the potential results. Is this something that you can live with as a person? I don't know, but I feel like you should watch this. It's a film that I recommend. Don't watch the 11 o'clock one. Go watch an early one so that you can separate yourself from it. Right? It'll stay with you, and you'll keep thinking about it. And some you get how, like, I have loved ones who don't like graphic violence. Right? I'm not a big fan either, but I can handle it for movies. But some of the visuals in there are so atrocious, like, you want to share to help get them out of your head, but you don't want to put the people you've seen, you love, through that as well. So you don't want to share in that sense. And that's, I'm like, is that what it's like to actually see war? Like, you don't want to share this, but you really need to get it out of your head. And so thank God I have a podcast to talk about it, right? Um and so I gotta think that some of the a lesson from this film is how democracy is important. Our way is important. Let's keep doing things our peaceful way. Peaceful transitions of power should happen. The lesson is, let's keep with democracy. Let's do the right thing and vote for the people that will not bring war to this country. I think too often we've, in the last, almost 10 years now, we've talked about, we throw around like there's going to be a civil war in this country a little bit too casually. And this film is a reminder of what a modern war would look like here. And it's a warning, and it's one that a lot of people should take in. Is it rewatchable? I mean, yeah, I think it's really well done. I will watch it again. I will. I but I kind of want to talk to somebody about it. Like, I need it to be for a discussion. I don't think I want to watch it again alone. I want to go somewhere and talk about things that happen in it, and what other people think, and theories that you have about it. This is a talking film. You gotta talk about this film, okay? Uh, in my and I guess I don't know what else more to say about this, without just like giving away so much of it. But in my scale of love it, like it, or lose it, I am gonna give Civil War a love it. I do think you should see it. You should see it with friends and talk about it after. That's what I recommend. So, that's it. Again, Civil War, star Alex Garland, and I heard I think I heard a rumor this might be one of his last films that he's planning on. I'm not sure. Rated R film, 109 minutes, opens in theaters this weekend, brought to you by A24. And I don't know about you, but every time I see something is an A24 film now, I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to see they seem to pick up and distribute films that I tend to like, or I can really at least appreciate what they're doing. Well, yeah, there's definitely some films I haven't liked, but if the topic seems interesting to me, that's a go ahead sign. Like, let me give this a chance. Okay. Maybe it's me who has a problem. It's not a them problem, but somebody will like the films if they pick it up. Right. So that's it. Civil War out in theaters. Check it out. Hey, what did you think about the film? If you saw it, did you like it? Leave a comment. Let me know if you agreed or disagreed. And, thank you for listening, and thank you for subscribing, but mostly, thank you for watching a movie with Silas Linden Stine.
You're watching a movie with Silas Linden Stine. In the theaters you find this, so go and press play and rewind this. This picture is timeless. Love it, like it, or we lose it, can't find it. And we ain't keen on being reminded about the film if it isn't tough. We spend a lot of time at the cinema. It's just me and my friends, we watch plenty stuff. For movies, yeah, I've been above. Whether big or they small, no, for me don't make a difference. Love them. You're watching a movie with Silas Linden Stine. In the theaters you find this, so go and press play and rewind this. This picture is timeless. Love it, like it, or we lose it, can't find it. And we ain't keen on being reminded about the film if it didn't hit. No, gotta lose it. Watch movies with my friends, bringing joy, that's the blueprint. So come on and let's do this. Leave pain behind us and relax your mind. Come watch a movie with Silas. Yeah.